Morning everyone, and welcome to this week. I'm back with the tulips. I'll take a picture. Tulips, as I promised last week, have changed a little bit. I took some of your advice on the colours, using a complementary aubergine and my lovely favourite green, and I'm quite happy with where it's finished. So happy, in fact, that I have bundles of tulips, and I thought I might really need to have a go at doing some more tulips, but I don't want to repeat what I've done. I want to see if I can explore tulips some more. So I've got options. I could go in with charcoal, pencil, pen. I could go straight with the acrylics. I'm going to try and work two paintings almost simultaneously. I'm going to cut my A1 in half and start them up. Let's see what happens working on two tulip paintings at once. So I'm going to have some breakfast and then get started with that. I've picked up a stubby pencil and my feeling is I want to lift those up. I need to find a box. I might put the tulips on a stack of books rather than to be looking down on them. Okay, one stubby pencil. I think I'm kind of in a halfway position. I'll give it a fold. I'll cut. And I've just picked up a little selection of books. Ian McEwan is one of my all-time favourite authors. This Lauren gave me at Christmas, and it's really worthy. It's called Second Place, and it's actually worth a second read. A woman invites a famed artist to the remote coastal landscape where she lives. Drawn to his paintings, she believes his vision may penetrate the mystery at the centre of her life. But as a long, dry summer sets in, his provocative presence soon twists the patterns of her secluded household. I really enjoyed that. Thanks, Lauren. And I will be reading that again. And I absolutely I love the cover. Lauren also gave me Modern Nature. And I keep reading bits and pieces about Derek Jarman. I've only got so far. Over Christmas, it was tremendous to actually take time just to do solid reading. And because my main passion is painting, when I'm in the painting zone, I will just read a bit here and a bit there. And what I really want to do is have a whole chunk of time. I really like to spend a whole day reading. And I just don't get the opportunity. So I pick up and I read bits here and bits there. And it's never the same as reading something from start to finish. So what I've read so far, I'm enjoying on that. This little one is Virgil, and you won't believe this because I couldn't believe it. Over a year ago, and I put it completely out of my mind, I couldn't find, a shout out here to WOB, World of Books, secondhand books from them are fantastic. I tried to get a secondhand copy of a book. I scoured everywhere for this particular book and couldn't find it. I ended up on Amazon and I placed an order because it was out of publication. And they kept saying to me, it's coming in, it's coming in. So over a year ago, and last week, I had a notification to say, your book is out ready for dispatch. I couldn't believe it. I'd actually forgotten all about it, and I'm thrilled to bits with it. So, drum roll here for the lovely Joan Erdley. I already have an Erdley, but this was the one that I really, really wanted, and I'm not disappointed. A Sense of Place. So I'm assuming that if any Erdley fans out there, if you don't and can't get your hands on a copy of this book, Amazon must have it at the moment because I've received it. It's just fantastic. It's her interpretation of landscape. Just really, God, it really floats my boat. It's just tremendous. I like her use of colour. Her portraits are also fantastic. I want to absorb more. I don't want to copy, but I want to absorb more and let that sort of filter through. Hope that that filters through. So very, very pleased with my Joan Erdley. I'm going to go again with the stubby pencil. Here it is. You know, at my beginnings, if you've been hanging out with me for all these weeks, you'll know that my beginnings are very, very simple, and that's how I like it, because if I tried to be, I have huge respect for people that do botanical drawing, wow, but that's not my thing. But what am I saying? I like to just keep it simple, keep it speedy and loose. Try and stay loose. I make it up as I go along. So I've started on with my focus here, but from where I'm standing, there's a big gap there, and I don't particularly really want that gap. So I just might decide I want to put something there, and I'll just use artistic license to put something where I would rather have it. But all the while, just trying to get a nice feel for what is in front of me. I guess what I'm trying to say is I don't want to slavishly follow what is in front of me. I want to get a sense of what I can see. I adore these shapes. Last week I cut a piece, what was this from? From the bonus material. Oh, and I must remember to talk to you more about bonus material. This was the edge, if you remember, cut off, and I'm working up a little bit here. So the paint, I got distracted this morning, and the paint I've got left is here. So without thinking too much, I'm just going to put a little smudge down on here. I found myself overthinking what to do next. So when I start overthinking, I'll do something else. I think about something else. It's nuts. If I had my sketchbook in front of me, I could sketchbook page with what's left, but I don't. I think that's about it. Oh, it's nice to see. It always makes me really smiley when I see some colour. A new day. I got a little bit down last night waiting for things to cook. A trusty bit of wallpaper printing and just coming in with a bit more solid colour. I've come in on the woody and I just applied a little bit of water and they move really nicely, but I don't want to get the paint and get this dirty effect, so I've got to think on that today, what my next move will be. I thought also this would be a good opportunity to talk to you about the other bonus material. New sketchbook, the covers, you know, I can see another move. So I love the fact that even your sketchbook covers can be ongoing. But my old sketchbook, oh my gosh, and I must remember to put the hockey tape on. My old sketchbook started, I know where it started, not by reading anything, but from the first drawing that went in. I remember it so clearly. A nice day, I sat outside. The challenge at the time was trying to find a way to draw buildings. I don't draw buildings, so I thought I'll start with the cabin and the plants on the deck area. I went in and I just put down these very speedy pen drawings. As time's gone on, while I've been working in the sketchbook, I've gone back in. Some I worked into colour, others I didn't. This one I've just started to work on from a pen drawing, and I'll drop the images in. I've literally only just come back in here. What I'm trying to say here is that for me, I no longer worry about having a complete page. I used to think, oh, I can't move forward because I haven't finished this and I need it to be finished in order to go on. You don't. I no longer worry about putting the most sketchy sketch on a page and moving on, because I know that at some point while I'm working in this sketchbook, or at some point when it's long gone, I will come back. There will be a day, there will be a time, an evening, an afternoon, where I might think, I'm looking for a bit of inspiration. I just feel like having a browse, and I'll land on a sketchy page and I might just re-engage and find something new. What I'm loving more than anything with the image that I've put in, that's the little cottage. That was the view from the little cottage that we rented when we went to Dorset last year. And it just takes me right back there to that moment. It's fantastic. It's no words are needed. That's the power of a bit of drawing and a bit of colouring in. So sketchbooks are great for a bit of bonus artwork. What else to say? I have actually got big news to share, but I'm going to try and concentrate, do a little bit this morning on these guys, and then I will share my most recent news. Exciting news, long-awaited news. I've tried to really carefully place the acrylic paint I'm trying not to make a muddy area off of the woodies. I could use a fixative. So I thought I'll just come in with a white paint. You can see how it's greying the white paint, but my thinking is if I can edge about, I can go over this white when I've decided what's going on it, and get rid of any grey area. I'm asking myself, why did I use the woody when I knew this would happen? And I think the answer is just that I love the mark. I like the ease of using a woody. And then something now as I'm going in, something's saying to me, why don't I just embrace what's happening, the movement that's coming from the paint and the crayon. Oh, I quite like that. I'll bring the camera really close and hopefully you can get an idea of what I'm talking about. I've mixed. This is a cadmium red light with a little bit of white in there. I love that strength of colour. How's that look? Oh, I like that. So the beauty of working on two is while that's wet, I'll put it to dry. I need 3 hands. I'll move him right over. I love the vibrancy of that. I rather weirdly like the fact that the tulip colour is outside of the tulip. I don't know why. Oh, wet paint. Questions now. Do I want to do the same thing, or do I want to do something different? I want them initially. Yesterday I started thinking, oh, I like the idea of them working really together closely as a pair, and now I'm not so sure. Oh, I'll make some tea and stand back and try and get them to talk to me. Paint's pretty wet here, so I'm going to go again. I've just split another sheet and I've got leftover paint, so I don't want to waste it. It's too much for Sketchbook, so I thought, let's go again. I really like where I am at the moment. Obviously more to go, but they're very wet. I'm going to put them somewhere to dry. So I've just put that down, that leftover colour, as a wash, and what I'll do when that's dry, it should dry quite quickly, I'll draw up the tulips, possibly with pen, and see what that looks like. So this is the number 3 tulip painting. I had the wash, I went in with some white and strengthened up a bit here. I used a pen to draw the tulips again, and then I've been just dabbling with a bit of colour this morning. That's a bit wet. The 4th one is just nothing, and these two have come back together. I've added a little bit, but I really like them. I do really like them as a pair. If I push myself to try and get them finished up for this video, it's a mistake, because I want to take my time. I'm enjoying this connection. I've been nurturing the idea of having a small place to sell affordable art. The obvious conclusion was to have a website, and that's what I've been working on since Christmas. I have a collection now in the gallery on the website. I've got 18 small paintings. There are a few paintings on canvas in Craig's lovely cradle frames, the deep edge frames. There's a whole collection of the shadow box frames, and I'm really pleased with how it's finally come together. You have to really want to do it. And I really wanted to do it. I almost gave up at one point, but thought, no, why am I doing this? Because I really want to do it. So I pushed the publish button last week, and the website is live. Basically, it's a little web shop. At the moment, it's UK only. The shipping, international shipping, is very expensive. So I decided to stay with the UK, offer free postage and packing, and just see how that goes. I'm really, really glad that I just pushed on. So if you have a seed of an idea, let it grow. You don't know what's around the corner, you don't know how things are going to do, but it's really, really good to have a go, to try. When is a painting finished? In my case, it might be better to say, when is a painting unfinished? A painting for me is unfinished when I've lived with it for a few days. I might have even framed it and it's hanging around in my eye line, and it gives me a feeling. It's about a feeling as much as what I'm seeing. I feel unsettled. I feel there's something missing. I start asking myself, have I finished? Have I decided it's framed and it's finished for the sake of finishing? Old Gaynor says, let's get finished, because when we finish, what we really want to do is start something fresh. I love a new beginning. I love the engagement with a new piece of work. I think more than anything, I need to listen to that little voice that says there's something missing. I know I can't settle with something that's not quite right in a painting. And it bugs me so much that when I put the paintings in frames, for the first few days, I don't secure anything very well, because I know that I need to live with it in the frame just for a while to be confident. I'm super confident with Green Chair. I love that thing to bits. And I just know that's enough. So it is very much back to the drawing board. You might notice I've thrown in more colour. I started off with that very monochromatic. I was enjoying the grey. So I started changing, and it felt in a halfway place. It was neither monochromatic now nor colour. I know that the colour really sparks joy for me. I'm going to have a go. I'm going to hang in with it and have a go and see what I can do with it. But if I can't, and I have to take it as this one failed, then that's okay, because I've learned things. I'm learning things along the way, and I enjoyed myself with it. And it isn't always the case that every piece of work is going to end up in a frame. You just have to tap deep inside and be really, really honest with what it is that you want to connect with, that you are happy with. You, first and foremost, have to feel happy with it. So this morning, I am going to give this some more time. So this is what happens when you have the tube of cadmium red light lying around on the table, I mixed it up with some yellow and I'll live with that for a few days. My instant reaction was, oh my God, this is such a shift. We'll see, but I'm taking a risk because I couldn't settle, and this might not be the way forward, but I'm having a go. I'm just having a play here. I have to say here that when you start up a piece of work, it might not be the piece, but it leads to other things, and then those things re-inform the original. I think that's what's going on. I think that's what's happening. And even from Green Chair, I tweaked up that little painting, that cheese plant painting, and I'm happier. I never thought to drop in the black on the background, so it's popping a bit more. Wow, okay, I think you've had enough of tulips for 1 week, and I don't know where I'm going next week. I'm all over the place. I'm actually doing a bit of everything. I'll show you next week what I'm up to in Sketchbook, and whatever you're up to. Be brave and be bold and tap in to what you really want to see, what you really want to feel when you look at your artwork. Have a great week, everyone, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.